Hello, I'm in Santa Cruz de Tenerife, and it's evening now after a field day, and I'm doing a little bit of sightseeing, if you will, and I have this thing for history, and here I'm at the powder store, the CASA de POLVORA, so the powder house, if you will, the arsenal, and this is where the powder was stored and the cannons were repaired and things like that. And it's entirely made of basalt, very kind of massive blocks at the corners, and then it gets a little bit more kind of mixed in between, but we'll look at this in a minute. So here's how it looked back in the day. It's from the 1750s, and there was a big wall surrounding the whole structure to protect it from incoming fire. And here we have a little description, and this was of course involved in the 1797 attack by Admiral Nelson. So this is where some of the powder would have been kind of distributed from, and as I said, here is the cornerstones, which are very massive, and then there is more fragile rock with a lot more vesicles here in the middle part, and then there's some very thin kind of areas here where they could be shooting out. They could defend the structure if there was an attack, and then they have some kind of sturdy pillars here at the side, and there they have very massive rock actually, and this is in order to make the structure very sturdy. So here the powder house, the Navy and the Army stored their kind of explosives there, and I think this is why it had to be so sturdy, that in case there was actually an explosion in there, even a small one, it wouldn't blow everything apart, that it would actually hold things together a little bit. So here we are at the coast, and out there you can actually see the water, so very close to the actual gun stations that were distributed here along the coast, and Nelson was bringing his fleet along the coast, firing at the city, and there was no less than 16 different little fortresses, and there's one close by. I'll look at this in a little while, San Juan Fortress, and here we had this major storage facility for the gunpowder and the cannons. So this is actually a really historical site. It really kind of helped repel what the locals here consider a pirate attack, the one by Nelson. And as we all know, Nelson lost his arm in that attack, so he paid dearly for this ill-planned and ill-executed assault on the city. And all of this is made from local stone, from local basalt, and this is an intriguing kind of way to build a facility like this with effectively volcanic rock, and it's got a round top, and the top, as you can see, this is more like mortar here, so there's a type of cement with loads of little fragments there. Let's see if I can zoom in. So this was obviously not made from solid rock. This was made in early form of concrete and small lapilli and small rock chips in there. You can just about see that here, making a round top, and I think this is also to make the structure very sturdy and to repel any incoming cannonballs and fire, because if they fall on flat ground on a 90-degree angle, it's going to have a lot more impact as if they kind of fall on a curved surface, so the chance of them being deflected is a lot higher. So wonderful structure here, and wonderful scenery also, with the palm trees now growing around it. So here we are now on the other side again, and here's the front. And just over there, I think you can just about see it, is the opera house, the fancy opera house. And then there's a little castillo, a little fortress just over there. And I'll try to catch that fortress in the next few days. So this was actually one of the main gun ports from where fire was brought out onto Nelson's fleet. And there was not only Nelson's charge or Nelson's attack, there was many more, but this is one of the most famous ones. And I'll close with a little view on much more modern architecture. And here we go. This is the Opera House in Santa Cruz de Tenerife. Thank you very much. all the very best.